Hi, my name is Daniel Allen, and this is my audience. Alright, if you could only choose a few items to represent who you are as a person in the entirety of your life, what would they be and why? That is the task I've been given today, and I will share with you items that represent truly who I am and what I have experienced. An object that has made a great impact on my life is my diabetes meter, which is this, and this is used to test my blood sugar and my glucose levels. And I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 2. And at that early age, I was testing myself around 10 times a day with a lancet and drawing blood. I was also using syringes for insulin after every time I ate or I needed to bring my glucose levels back down. At around the age of 7, I was giving myself syringe shots, and at school, I had to rely on myself and a nurse at the school to get shots after eating, and if my sugar ran too high. I never let this disease define me as a person, and it has never stopped me from doing anything I wanted to do in life. And one of the many loves I have in life is a love of sports, and an example of how I have not allowed diabetes to have a negative impact on my life is my involvement in sports, and that's where the baseball comes into play. Baseball was the first sport I ever played, and I started playing when I was 4 years old. I played competitively for 15 years. The first team I ever played on was the Royals for T-ball, and I played every year since then, and got to the point where I was playing 2 or 3 seasons a year, and played middle school baseball and also high school baseball, making my junior varsity and varsity teams. My favorite positions were playing shortstop when I was younger and third base, and as I got into high school I ended up being a pitcher and an outfielder. And when I was a junior in high school, I ended up sustaining an elbow injury, which was a torn ligament in my elbow, which caused me to have to change up my release for pitching, and ended up stopping my career after that. So I didn't pursue it any further. And although I do still love the game, and I'm an avid fan, and I love watching the Rays and the Braves come on, and we'll go to baseball games usually a couple times a year. And throughout my childhood, I played baseball, soccer, and basketball, but there was always one sport that I never got to play competitively, even though I also like playing it with my friends, and that was football. And my favorite NFL team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I have this jersey to represent that. And when I was a little kid, I became a huge fan watching them on TV and seeing that they were pirate themed, and I caught my eye and caught my attention. So ever since then, I've always remained a fan. And in 3rd grade, I received my first Tampa Bay jersey, which was a Mike Allstott jersey, who's my favorite player. And the following year, I met a good friend of mine who was also a Buccaneer fan. And that same year that I met my friend, the Buccaneers went to the Super Bowl in 2002 and 2003 season and beat the Oakland Raiders with a score of 48-21. And in addition to this jersey, I have 5 other jerseys in my closet and a bunch of memorabilia. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have given me a lot of joy, and also a fair share of grief for not making the playoffs or not winning a playoff game since that Super Bowl run. But I continue to be a fan and will always be a fan. And all these items represent me well. There's one item I would like to think that represents me more than anything else, and that's the Bible. And the Bible has played a huge impact on my life. Ever since I was born, I've been growing up in the church, and I've made a lot of friends through that, and also helped me grow with my personality and respect for everybody. And I like to use that as a guideline for my life. I was baptized on October 21st, 2007, and religion can be a touchy subject, especially when bringing it up in a speech or giving a presentation, but in order to fully represent who I am, Christianity plays a significant role in my life, and I felt like I needed to use that as a representation. So to conclude, these are all items that represent who I am. My diabetes kid again, which is diabetes since the age of 2 I've had. My baseball, which is the first sport I've ever learned how to play, and a sport that will always have a special place in my heart. My Buccaneer jersey, which I'll be a Bucs fan till the day I die. And my Bible, which I'll always be a Christian. I like to use this for life lessons. So even though there are many of items that I could use to represent me, these 4 items describe me the best, and I'm proud of each one of them. Thank you. And again, this is my audience.